That's right, more table saw footage. Riveting stuff here. This is our shower pan, and actually can be the actual dimensions of the bathroom as well. So we're dealing with 36 by 28 and a half. And this will allow us to have plenty of room to stand up there for the shower, and also for our actual real human toilet. This is a Thetford Magic Flush or something like that, I think, you know, pedal flush. It's got actual water in it. It's like a real toilet. It's not one of those ones where you just hold a can of, you know, feces and urine right here for 2 weeks and then you dump it out every 2 weeks. We're going full black tank, which means a fully plumbed toilet. Just like with the air conditioning unit, we're going to create a shower pan that naturally tilts towards one side. So we're going to use some plywood to kind of create a reservoir and then slope everything down so there's 2 drain holes, one on either side here, and then kind of create a platform for all the mounting hardware for the toilet to sit on. And we're going to surround and cover the whole thing with some wood slats to make it look really nice, hide all the magic we put underneath of it. That's it. How many videos can one human being tolerate of somebody cutting and gluing plywood? For the toilet base, we're using 3/4 inch ply around and then 1/2 inch plywood on the top for a surface. So this should give us a nice platform. Let's set this right there. In, it'll stop right about here. This will give me enough room, I think, to drill holes for drains here on the other side. I stood around, thought about this for about 2 hours, and I realized that when I'm going to do wood slats on the floor for this, I need to have some room on the toilet seat to operate, because this flushes, it goes down to roughly, there's no room to put any kind of wood stuff underneath it. I just got 2 simple pieces of plywood. We're going to stack them up for an additional 1.5 inches of clearance and stack it up on here. So we're building a pedestal for our toilet, and then this will go on top like so that when this closes, there's enough gap underneath here so that I can have slats that will go all the way across on both sides, allowing me to stand on it and allowing the water to go through. I didn't really do much talking or explaining on the kitchen video, and there was a lot that went into that. If I did any kind of explaining or talking, it would have taken, it would have been like a 2-hour long video. So I'll do a little more explaining on this one, kind of show you guys the troubleshooting process that I'm going through, experimenting, developing this along the way, because I don't know what I'm going to do right now. I knew I wanted to do a shower pan. I knew I wanted it to be waterproofed with rubber sealant. I knew I wanted to have wood slats, and I knew I wanted to have a toilet in here. How that's all going to come together, I don't exactly know. This is a process of trial and error, largely. And now you guys kind of get a little more of a glimpse into that. So these screws are pretty much useless. See, now if I would have thought about this beforehand, I simply would have made the original framing deeper. But this is one of those things where you don't think about it until after the fact, and then you got to compensate for it. That's how a lot of this stuff goes. I'm not sitting down and doing all this in 3D design tool and knowing exactly where every part's going to go beforehand. Honestly, I actually prefer to do it this way. So generally with the Formica, I use large overhangs just to make it easier to place, but you got to be careful when rolling. If you happen to apply pressure too far beyond the actual surface, then this is what happens. I got lucky this time because it was a clean break and I was able to route the edge off, but this can ruin your whole day if you're not careful. Alright, so I put some supporting beams underneath the ramps here just to make sure there's no flexion at all in those ramps. I'm going to mark where this is though, so I can fasten it. Oh yeah, look at that. This is RedGuard. RedGuard is a waterproofing membrane that you can paint on for shower pans, shower walls, things like that. Anything that's going to be exposed to water. We're going to be putting a couple coats of this on the shower pan itself, and I think this is approved for use as a shower pan. It says right here on the label. Let's glue it on. Let's go. So you can see some of the spots are getting red. Some of the more saturated spots are still hot pink. Give this about 20 minutes and then we'll come back and slap on another coat. Gorilla Glue black liquid rubber. We're going to do about 2 or 3 coats. Okay, this paintbrush is not going to work. One layer of liquid rubber on, you can see it starts to self-level. There's no brush strokes visible. We're gonna let this dry and then we'll put another coat on. This is going on pretty thick. I don't see it needing much more than 2, so maybe I only need a 1 can of rubber. Oh well, we'll see. And we're back 24 hours later. Here's what the finished product looks like after the 1 coat of the Poly Shades 2-in-1. And to be honest, it looks pretty awful. This is inconsistent. Some of these boards are really dark because there's more on there. Some of these are kind of light. There's a texture on them. It may be hard to see on the camera, but it's not smooth at all. I may have to go through with some steel wool because the directions do say use steel wool. I mean, if every piece can look like this one, this is what I was going for. This is the only piece that looks like I wanted it to come out. And it's nice and dark. It's glossy. Guess I'm getting another can of the Poly Shades. Gonna try this. Gotta go to the store, get some Poly Shades, more Poly Shades, because I gotta do the bottom still. And there you go. You can see the gloss in this shot. Okay, we're back. I got a special actual stain brush here and some steel wool. We're gonna go over, brush these out, see if we can get some of these roughness off there, and then reapply another coat, see what happens. Okay, can you see the difference here? This is the raw, and this is the steel wool side. So making it a little dull, preparing it for the next layer. Let's give our 2-in-1 Poly Shades a little stir here. Okay, here we go. Wow. Okay. That looks pretty good. Okay, well, this is looking a little better. I like this. It's got that color I was looking for, nice and dark, glossy, smooth. It's even coated. This sanding thing might have really helped out here. We'll keep going, see what we end up with. We're going to lay all these upside down to get the spacing set. The bottom of these kind of look a little messy, but that's fine. You'll never ever see them. Make sure the spacing is good here. And then we're going to take 1 bar of aluminum across the middle. Now I offset these. You notice they're not centered on the board. They're either a little bit to the left, a little bit to the right, because I'm going to leave the option, if I want to, if I feel it's necessary, to also put a screw in from the end. The whole thing could still move, unless I do screws on the end. No, I don't know. Let's find out. I think that turned out quite well. I love the color on this. It's dark, with dark brown with a hint of red. Nice and glossy. Should be protected from the water on all angles. This is sealed with 1 coat of urethane. So I did go over it after the stain with 1 more coat of polyurethane, just to give it some extra gloss and extra protection. So next step is to get the toilet on here, figure out where the hole is going to go, fit a flange on here, and then get the toilet fastened. That's right. A lot of people were asking, are you going to put a bathroom in this thing? Well, the answer is yes. Somebody else is putting a bathroom in right now across the street, so